A $1.2 million house with a lawn like this. We got pigeons flying. They try to do their best to guard nests from being built using those things right there. Looks like it ain't working too well. Neither is whatever the builder tried to do here, because there is a stop work order from the city telling them to stop all work, stop all construction. We can't allow the grass to overgrow. We got to cut it. So we're going to break some rules here, ignore the city, and go ahead and cut the lawn, do some work. I think it's the project that they're trying to do here. I read the note and it says that unfortunately they didn't pull the correct permits. Fortunately, city had to shut the whole thing down. If you look real close, there's a for sale sign there. I contacted the realtor and said that, hey, I'd love to cut the overgrown yard for you guys, kind of restore it, make it look a lot better for passerbys that might be interested in buying this huge home. $1.2 million. You know what they try to do? Let me tell you the story. I actually spoke with the neighbor and he said they tried to convert this home into a fourplex. So what's the story behind this house?
Well, there was a family here and they're kind of running a church out of it.
A church?
Yeah. Then somebody bought it and they were going to turn it into like a fourplex or duplex.
Oh.
Well, they got shut down.
By
It was a builder too.
Oh yeah, I saw the note on the front door.
They come in and did a lot of remodel and then they got shut down and then they tried to come back in with no permits and sneak on doing it and tried doing a lot, but there's no parking for a fourplex or anything.
No.
But now he's trying to sell it.
And they tried to secretly do it without telling anybody, including the city, and they got busted. Check out the backyard here. It's also overgrown. Some of this grass is about 1.5 feet, all went to seed, 2 foot in some spots. We got bushes that we were more than likely trim back. Actually, this looks like it shouldn't be here. Yeah, it looks like it's growing out there, shouldn't be here. We're gonna rip this whole thing out completely. I don't know what we can do with that. We'll try to do something. The grass is our main problem child right now, and that's exactly what we're gonna be starting on. Here's a view of the huge house. If you look inside, if you look carefully, it looks like it was being remodeled inside as well. See, they took down all the garage sliders. I think they're wanting to convert the garage area into additional room, maybe even living rooms, since they wanted to make this into a fourplex. Look at these crazy weeds. I don't even know what this stuff is. If you know, let me know in the comments down below, but look how twisted it gets. Oh, we're gonna have a great time mowing this. So let's go ahead and help these people out before the city comes knocking again and busts them, but this time for an overgrown lot. I am up for a challenge. I hope you are too, and I hope you stay tuned to the end for the amazing before and after pictures. Anyways, let's begin working. Found another one. It was secretly hiding in the corner. Looks like they ripped it off. It says, do not remove this stop work order. I personally think it's best to just be on neither side. Show up, do the work, help people out. That's all that matters. you doing, sir?
Good. You got quite a hay crop there.
Right? Yeah, get some goats up in here.
Yeah.
I like your hat. Served our country?
Yeah.
Thank you for your service.
You're welcome.
Appreciate Marines?
Yeah. A couple years there during Korea.
Couple years during Korea?
I wasn't in Korea, but it was
During Korea. What you up to today?
just getting a little exercise.
There you go.
93, so I gotta keep moving. I never have like sitting around too much.
It's nice to get out and enjoy God's creation.
Well, I'm gonna see if I can make my way down to the river.
All right.
I might make it, I might not.
Well, you stay safe out there. I hope the sidewalks are good enough for you.
Yeah.
Some of the sidewalks here are miserable. Good.
Good, how are you doing?
Good.
Are you,
Somebody gonna buy this place?
I hope so.
it's about time.
I figured if I mow it, then it might sell. So hopefully it does.
It would certainly help, yes.
Yeah, oh, of course it would.
Taking a little break, a little snack break. I got all of the limbs piled up into the truck. You guys hear that? I don't know if the camera's picking it up or not. It's them pigeons telling me to not mess around or they'll poop on my head. Now this would usually be a Chomps, but we went to Costco and this is the only thing they had. They didn't have Chomps, so it's pretty good too. And for dessert, you know, an RX bar. You guys like these? And good old juicy watermelon. Nothing like cold watermelon on a sunny summer day. you think?
Good.
Yeah, putting some nice stripes in the backyard even.
It looks really nice.
Trimmed up the, I think that's like a Russian crab apple tree.
Yeah.
And then just some other stuff there.
This is all rhubarb.
Yeah.
I just
Left
picked
the
a bunch
rhubarb.
from back home and brought. The side over there looks phenomenal.
Appreciate it.
Wow, I just couldn't believe we pulled in. I just couldn't believe that side out. And this looks really nice.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Well, I don't want to slow you up. I just had to come over and say, man, it looks good.
Thank you. I appreciate your feedback, man.
Yeah.
Have a great day.
You too.
It's all right. All right, quick educational segment. Let's talk about what this is and why I didn't cut it. A lot of you probably know what it is. It's rhubarb and is huge, huge rhubarb. This has outgrown. We got 3 bundles. 1, 2, 3. We're not going to cut it. However, we did cut some by the fireplace. It does not belong there, so don't call me out for it, please. I believe this is creeping bellflower, and it does produce a bit of flowers when it blooms, but I would call it invasive, and it does spread and take over gardens. So I don't know. I kind of left this bundle. I think it looks pretty nice with the rhubarb. And then this tree is a Siberian crabapple. This is good for the birds. They'll eat these. Store food for the wintertime. And I trimmed up the bottom to kind of give it somewhat of a shape. We're going to leave it just like it is, like this. And I think it looks all right. We got more creeping bellflower right here that we just kind of left. And finally, I believe this is an apple tree. Now, I could be wrong, but I'm going to zoom in here. I believe it is an apple tree that we just cleaned up, shaped up a little bit. And now we are off to the front yard. Pretty much done with the back. Just got to blow off the patio and that small cement piece right there and blow off the fire pit, and we're done with the back. So let's continue. Whoa. Is that a Dalmatian? Is that a purebred Dalmatian?
Yep.
How old?
He's about 3 months.
3 months old? Oh my. He's the cutest thing. How you doing?
No job.
Wow.
Well, they're not real common for some reason.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know.
Well.
They're just an unusual breed. I mean, they're nothing that special. They're an active dog, but other than that, I mean, and they're a little assertive.
I'm sure he loves his walks, huh?
Yeah, well, better than trying to sit in an office.
Yeah. I'm on top of the world. Just kidding. Just a debris pile. All right, guys. I am so tired. I don't know what reference to use. I'm tired, Grandpa. Or I'm tired, boss. Actually, it went like this. I'm tired, boss. If you can guess where those two references were, I'll send you a cookie. Leave a comment down below. There you go. I'm done here. My work is done. My work is finished on this property. If you enjoyed it, please, consider liking, subscribing, commenting, resharing it with your friends and family, or just somebody that might enjoy it just as much as you did. Gotta catch my breath. 6-hour job in the books. It was a good one. I enjoyed it. It was nice and green. It wasn't too dry and dusty, but now it definitely needs some water and regular maintenance. So we'll close that up, take my after pictures, head on home. I appreciate you guys tuning in. Thank you so much. Can't do this without you guys. I love what I do, but I won't be able to do this without your guys' support. So thank you. Take care. God bless you. We'll see you in the next one, and enjoy these before and after pictures.